Hello and welcome to the Spoken Room podcast with
Stacey,
Beatrice
and Grace. Today's topic are the good and bad things of fame. We're also going to have a look at the deaths of Nikki Graham as well as Caroline Flack. We also have a few games coming up and a few funny videos which you might find entertaining. So the first topic is, of course, the good and bad things of fame, but with what links in with that is the deaths of Caroline Flack and Nikki Graham. So what are we thinking?
The thing that I think around fame is that, yes, you've got famous, you know a lot of people, yeah, cool. With that, you also get bullying, you also get the negatives of that, which people are horrible. The Saki and just mean in general, we're all evil in this world anyway, not gonna lie, that's just my opinion. But you have a certain audience, and when you're reaching that audience, if you go a little bit out of that audience because you're feeling braver and stuff like that, it's really difficult to make that audience understand where you're going from that point of view. So say like a pop punk band goes pop and they just want to explore a little bit more, it damages your brand and it damages your stigma around the world, and that is really difficult to put on a person, as a brand
a lot
instead
of people,
of a person.
when they like writing songs, like you said, with punk rock and that pop punk, yeah, definitely. Like people are just like wanting to be like a one-hit wonder sort of thing, but then people start listening to the songs more, they become more popular, but then they feel that there's more pressure on them having to make these songs that the people are going to like, you know, and that's where mental health comes into account, because like, you know, you've got all this pressure and there's people giving you giving you a hard time because like your songs are rubbish, your songs are like all this sort of stuff. So, you know, it's like there's a point, like people don't want fame, they just want to have, you know, be that one-hit wonder.
Yeah,
True.
People hate and stuff like the girl off of Little Mix, she left the band because people were fat shaming her, and being absolutely horrible to a beautiful girl. I'm sorry, but she is. What do you think the situation be like?
I think either way with fame, you're going to get positives or negatives, because you can't please everybody, and there's going to be some people that like what you do and some people that don't. So at some point you're going to get negatives. You can't like please everyone. Not everybody's going to like what you do, which could cause mental health issues with people.
Exactly. Like you were saying, Stacey, with the Jesy Nelson thing. It is Jesy Nelson, isn't it?
I don't know.
I think it's Jesy Nelson.
I'm not a big fan of Little Mix personally.
When I was younger, I loved Little Mix, and Jesy Nelson was an absolute icon. And when I watched it was like a short documentary on the BBC.
Yeah, I've seen
it. I was just like, they were interviewing every member of like Little Mix and that, and I think it was Jade in particular that said that Jessy's been having a really bad, like, tough time with all these trolls and that, you know, and they've all been saying, you know, we're all there for you, but, you know, it's like, you hear the messages that people are saying, like, yes, I know you're there for me, but, you know, it's not so easy for me to come talk to you, and that's where the negatives of fame come into account, because it doesn't just impact you mentally, it can also impact you physically as well, because you feel, you're feeling run down all the time.
Yeah. People that are famous are notorious for getting mental illnesses and physical illnesses about eating disorders, and it is ridiculous on how the world treats people at the moment, especially like this is the thing that YouTube's having at the moment as well. It's not just like famous singers, it's even lower down in like YouTube stars, and I'm going to name a name here, but Gabby Hanna, she had a massive amount of stigma around her for being fat. I'm using air quotes, by the way, for being fat and ridiculously unhealthy, still using air quotes. But she were beautiful. They used to have a go at her about having a big nose or a pronounced nose, and it's stupid. Everyone looks different. Everyone feels different in themselves. Why should you make them worse?
Yeah, what do you have to say on this? be?
Well,
like,
yeah, it's basically, and it leads on to different problems. Like with fame, you get money, of course, which could lead off, these mental problems could lead on to drug problems, turning to drugs and stuff like that, because you've got money to do it. So it leads on to different problems like that, and it affects your mental health as well as your physical health.
Like, there's a point where, you know, like you said, people have all this money because they've got all that power, because they've got all this fame, and they start having drugs and things like that, and then they get addicted to it, and then the next thing you know, they're ending up in prison because of what they've done.
Or even worse, overdosing.
Exactly.
And it's scary that we have that amount of power, and I think people take it to a whole other advantage of the amount of power we have over someone's mood. Like, it's ridiculous. Just us turning around and going, "You fart," is horrible to think. But you sat there calling someone something so derogatory, words, so hurtful, and it demeans the person.
Yeah. I mean, let's have a look at Nikki Graham. She died of an eating disorder, which is exactly what we mean. Yeah. Like, a lot of people who are listening to this might have heard that she passed away. Nikki was on Big Brother in 2006, and she came 5th place. And we don't precisely know what's happened, like what's led to this, but we are guessing that it's from fame and the media that, you know, that it's had. So
there's a whole stigma around pop stars being skinny and healthy, and so it's really not unhealthy. It's really unhealthy. Sorry.
Like, because obviously we're doing broadcast journalism at college, and what I'm wanting to be in the future is a presenter, and one of the things that's holding me back is that, you know, I don't have that, what is classed as a perfect body. I'm not, you know, I don't have that tight waist. I don't have, you know, I've got a double chin, and I like, my forehead's massive, and it's these comments that people putting inside your head that could be holding you back from your dream, sort of thing. You know, like, why should people be pointing out these insecurities?
It's especially hard on, like, singers and famous people too, because they try to please everyone, because they know that if one day everybody just stopped listening to your music or whatever you do, then you basically have, like, nothing. You have nothing. You're not famous anymore if you've got no money. So it's like you're always being watched too. So it's like you make one mistake and, like, you can lose everything too.
Yeah. The one thing I do like about, like, famous people and that sort of stigma is the fact that up and coming artists do not, and I don't mean to, like, undermine other people's, like, ability to feel, but I feel like underappreciated artists get it a lot different compared to, like, Ariana Grande and Ed Sheeran and people like, I don't know, Celine Dion and Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
Compared from Mariah Carey to, say, where Youngblood is now, they are two completely different scales of the amount of hate that they get. Like, they have people that turn around and go, don't like the music, but Mariah Carey has a literal brand to follow.
Yeah.
And the fact that she can't get out of that brand is ridiculous because of her audience. We shouldn't be judging people because of their music.
If, like you said with Mariah Carey, if she wants to leave, then she should be able to just leave this career behind of becoming a singer. Do you know what I mean? If that's what she really wants, then that's what she should do. But the fact that all these people are like, oh yeah, your songs are, the fact that she feels like she's got all this weight on her shoulders, that she has to provide this music for the people, you know, it's not fair to it's not fair.
With Mariah Carey, she has lost all of her voice. Like, she undercovered from surgery just recently, and she's pretty much lost all of her voice. That notorious whistle note that people can make like her, she can't do it anymore. And people have found out that maybe she was doing some covers so that she were overlapping other music so that she didn't have to make them notes. And people were judging her for that. Like, if I lost my voice, I wouldn't want to talk.
Yeah, true.
So
She had like no control over it.
yeah, with being famous, I think there's a point where social media comes into account as well. I once had with Matt Gravelin, who works for the BBC as a presenter. He was absolutely amazing, and he were doing these like Zoom like calls sort of thing, and he said that before he were getting quite a lot of grief from social media. But if you think about social media, there's two aspects to it. There's the bad side where you get all these trolls and things like that, but then there's the good side where you actually got these people who are supporting. So what is weighing out then, like what is classed as bad and what is classed as actually good?
It's really strange about that, because you wouldn't expect that someone on live air would get that, because it's on live air. You can literally say
He said
anything.
that he was before he started.
So presenting and it actually being edited.
before he started presenting it was.
Right, I see.
So yeah, but social media is not just about fame. It's about, we're all impacted. Once you post something, there's no going back.
True.
Yeah,
And you're like
so-
always being watched, especially if you're like really famous. There's always like someone watching you and watching every move to see if you make a mistake or not.
Exactly. So we've talked about a bit about Nicky Graham, Caroline Flack. A couple years ago, I can't remember exactly what date it was, but she committed suicide because of these, I think it was internet trolls again. So what is that to do with the fame? Because she
very well could be.
She was the voiceover of Love Island, but
Yeah.
there were a lot of rumours. I'm not sure if they were actually true, but she did some stuff in the past, like messed up stuff, like cheating on people and that, like that made things 100% worse for her, and that I think that's what made her go overboard.
Yeah.
True.
So
It's so untalked about as well. Like, I didn't even know that she committed suicide. I know, like, it's big when it happens, but it's so normal to the public now
Yeah.
that it's like, oh, another human's died of us,
yeah,
pretty much. Another person.
I knew what happened the day, like, when it happened, but I didn't really know why. I didn't know the full story and why.
It's all hid. It's all been hid, and that is in itself hurtful, because it's like people don't even care.
Yeah.
You're sat there going, I am hurting because of you, and you're sat there doing absolutely nothing about it.
yeah,
Like, the media sits there, oh, this person and this person's getting this person and this person's from here, and it's like you're going over the most important parts of it. This person has sat there and got depression because of this person, not because of personal situations and family situations and you in a general and your bubble. You're getting depression because of thousands and thousands of people are hating on you.
yeah.
True.
And it's ridiculous.
You can't expect to be sat there and say all these hurtful comments about someone and not expect them to do something drastic like committing suicide. What do you expect? Do you know what I mean? Like, imagine what then when they realised when it was released that Caroline Flack committed suicide. Imagine what then people who were trolling her were thinking. Were they thinking, thank God she's gone, or were they like, I feel guilty?
True. I feel like it's this thing where famous people people that aren't famous, they don't feel like real, you know what I mean? Like they don't feel like when they say something that, oh, it's not real, it's not like a real person, it's like a famous person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Precisely. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest here. A couple of years ago, this was like when I was in year 7, so I can't remember when it was. I think it was like 2015, 2016 time. or it might have been in year 8, I can't exactly remember, but I was obsessed with YouTubers. You know, I was obsessed with like Zoella, things like that. Do you know, I think every teenage girl was obsessed with her at that point. But I was like, I want to be her. I want to do vlogs.
Yeah.
So on my Instagram, I posted a video and I was doing this horrendous American yet British accent. I'll do an example. That is, it's actually embarrassing. So this is exactly what it was like. It's like, hey vlog squad. So today, so I was like that, and when I went back, I was like, I'm doing this. I'm feeling confident, and I was like, I had so much hope that this was going to blow up. Then the next day I went to school. Tons of people, like I went on bus, tons of people running upstairs and bus, like looking at me like that's her who posted the video. And then I got to school, and for about 2 years there were people going like, there were like people going, hey vlog squad, like, you know, doing an impression of me. And I'm like, I know it's just a school, but, and you know, there's not many people doing it, but I felt so embarrassed. I hated myself, and I could not take that video down because people had got that video and screen recorded it or whatever and posted it somewhere else, and I was like, where can I stop? And I felt at that moment I could not go speak to the office at school. I just couldn't do anything about it, and that's what I'm saying about there's no going back on social media. But yet there's a point where I can see why people are going, you know, committing suicide and things like that, because they feel so trapped because there's all these people and there's no other way to get out. You know, it's like they're a bird trapped in a bird cage. That's a metaphor that I use for this sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what do you think? Like, do you understand about this sort of thing? Like, why people are going overboard? Like Caroline Flack.
I do get it. I've also done the exact same as you, except in a different kind of scenario. When I was over at high school, I was quite bullied a lot because I was a very outspoken person, as I'm a journalist.
Yeah.
So I didn't care what opinions people had on me. Obviously, I do now. Like, I know how to stop my tongue, and I know how to, like, okay, I have an opinion, but I'm not going to say it because it's not the opinion you might share with me. At that time, I was still learning that, and I would scream and shout and be very opinionated, and people used to make fun of me. They couldn't get to my weight and my looks because I used to make fun of that myself.
Yeah.
That's the one way that I've dealt with it, is if someone sat there making fun of you and screwing you up, do it yourself.
Yeah.
How can they affect you if you're not letting them and making a joke out of it yourself?
Yeah.
But at that time I was still learning that, and people used to come up to me and fake ask me out.
Right.
Has anyone else had that?
No.
It's oh my god, Stacey, I love you so much. It is disgusting.
Yeah.
And you'd have a group of lads behind this one lad that sat there going, oh my god, I love you so much, Stacey, blah blah blah.
Like making fun of you.
Making fun of you, like straight to your face, and all I had to do was turn around and say no. But I didn't. I sat there and told them every single bit, and
You're like proper talking close to a microphone.
And every single, like, I've lost where I've gone now.
You said every single bit.
Every single bit they used to say hurt me.
Yeah.
Hurt me to the back nines. But the fact that I let that show is the reason why they continued doing it.
Yeah.
And when someone sat there saying that they're hurting because of this, you shouldn't carry on.
No.
And that is one thing that the media has been doing for the past, like, since it was out. You're sat there going, I'm sorry about my flaws.
Yeah.
However, you really shouldn't be pointing them out. I know my flaws. I know how to fix them. I need to
Exactly.
deal with them myself. You don't need to put
Exactly.
input.
When I said when I posted this Instagram post, you know what? It's still on my account. I've tried so hard to try and delete this account, but Instagram, it likes to be funny, and it's taking. You have to go through.
Exactly.
Have you ever tried to delete an Instagram account? There's so
It's
much
not
stuff you
on
have to go.
Instagram.
When you try and delete an Instagram account, there is so much stuff you have to go through, and you're
True.
like, you know, it's asking for all this information. I'm like, I don't understand this information. Can you make it a bit clearer? So this video is still out there, roaming around, still an account. I'd probably I'm so embarrassed by it. So, but there were people in my school. It's like there's constantly people who are like, oh my god, when you could tell like with the tone of the voice, like, oh my god, when you're going to make a new video, can I be in your video? Can you like link me in it?
Yeah.
And you know, that's like, you feel intimidated, you feel uncomfortable. And like in class, these were the people who sat next to me, and there was nothing I could do about it. And if I told on them, like if I told the teacher I feel uncomfortable like this, then the one word is grass. People calling me a grass, you know, you're a grass for doing this, you're a grass for doing that. I'm like, again, stuck in a bird cage. But then there were also people who were being really nice and supportive, like, oh yeah, like you could tell, like that this video was really good, you know, don't let other people bother what you're saying. They were being generally nice, but there's people who actually are nice and people who are making fun of you.
Sorry to get off the little topic though, but you know when someone calls you a grass or along those terms,
Yeah.
it's more the fact that now in sociology, it's said that using the term grass and using the term as snitch is more towards a criminal based study, so that criminals and prison officers and stuff like that need to look out for them words. And it's strange that teenagers from 13-year-old to 15 know what a grass is.
True.
A grass and a snitch is from people telling on the police, telling on someone to the police, and it goes around more with criminals than it does anyone else. So the fact that 13-year-olds to 15-year-olds use that word so often, it's like really strange to me. Sorry to get off there, but
It's fine.
continue.
So going back to the topic of good and bad things about fame, overall, what are our thoughts?
Well,
Everyone just stared at B then.
well, I feel like
We keep staring.
there's many bad things about fame, because it's like you can't really get out of it. Like once you're in the spotlight, if you leave, there's going to be some people that are upset about it no matter what. So you're always going to feel like you're disappointing someone. At any point in your career, you're going to feel like you're disappointing at least more than one people, because you can't make everyone happy.
Yeah. For me, I'm on the fence. Yes, there's good things and bad things. Bad, you know, it can drive people overboard.
It can.
You know what I mean? And, you know, it's like it could cause something drastic to happen. But then the plus sides, like fame, can actually be a good thing, because it gives you that confidence. You feel like you can take on that world. But normally, that's how you feel at first. But then it's like after a couple of years, you're just like, why did I even start this in the first place?
For some people, like they try to make everybody happy, that they forget about making themselves happy and what they want to do with their music, because they try and make their fans happy, because they know without their fans they're basically nothing.
I think one song in particular has always stood out to me, and it's only just recently come out, and it gets to the point. It's called Lonely, and I'm not the type of person to like Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Like, I like pop punk, I like rock, I like, you know, heavy metal. So when I saw that song, I just passed it off, but when I listened to it, one line stuck with me, and it's, people remember the stuff I did as an idiot kid.
Yes, that is very true. That is
And the
extremely
fact that Justin Bieber, when he was a kid, he was famous.
Yeah.
And he came on drugs, he got arrested, he hit people, he did all of this, and people blame him for that. Not the fact that people sat there and tormented this kid, paparazzi, pushed him, punched him, just to get a photo of this 17-year-old, because he sung and played drums.
Do you think that message that you said in that specific line of the song was sending out a message to the audience, like, I don't want to be famous anymore, I just want to give up? Do you know what I mean?
I don't think he wants to give up. I think he just wants people to get the message that, yes, I screwed up. People do. It's a mistake.
That's the thing. I feel like people hold famous people and celebrities to a higher standard than everybody else, and they forget that they're like human too, and they also make mistakes. Because like when someone else makes a mistake, you're like, oh, okay, they made a mistake. But when it's like a celebrity, you're like, why? You like blame them for it, and you
forgive and forget. But apparently, famous people can't get that chance.
Precisely, exactly. So, social media, fame, many benefits, many downfalls as well. But
benefit is you'll never go broke. I wish I could have that feeling, just not have the negative sides. I
just want some money because I'm fed up of lockdown. I just want to go shopping and have a massive spree, update my bedroom, update my wardrobe. I'm sick of it. So come on, fame, let's get going.
Let's all be presenters and hopefully get £1,000 to something £100 every week.
Why not? Why not? So yeah. Right, so
back from the little depressing state that we just had, that was a very big talk, we're going to go into something more funner now, stuff like games and our video of the week.
Let's go for the video of the week, I think.
Alright, let's do that first.
Right, so there is this video. You might have heard this song, you might not have. Rick Astley, Never Gonna Give You Up. Now, if you've seen the video, it's absolutely hilarious. When you put
it on mute.
In 80s pop music going upwards, I noticed this a few weeks ago and it was hilarious when I found it out. Silence any music you're looking at and any music video you're watching and just watch them dance.
Yes.
This one specifically is funny.
Right, so
I still don't know how you figured this out. Like, did you just randomly just find it out?
I needed to put my TV on silent, and I was listening to music on YouTube at the time.
And you just look up and you just think, hang on a minute.
I saw three men going like this.
Yeah, so at the minute, this podcast, we ideally wanted it to be on screen, but for this one, we're having to do it more audio based, yes, thank you, because the equipment isn't, we haven't got the equipment at the minute, so hopefully in future we'll have this equipment ready, we'll be able to have it on the screen. But for this video, we're just going to show a clip, we're going to have this on the screen, and
you'll have his live reaction.
Yeah, basically.
If you would like to see it, we'll probably put it on the screen through the editing stage.
So you can see it as well. We're going to put this on the screen as well. So this is the video.
It's the little booty wiggles for me.
Stacey.
It just looks so weird without music.
It is. It's so weird without music. But then you're just like, they're all there. They're just like moving the top half of the body. They're just having a good time. And they start clapping. You're just like,
you can imagine like the music video production of this, because you just have a massive room with one slight audio so that you could dance to it.
It's. They're just like, what?
They're in a church, sat there, dancing.
It's just like, they just remind you like, how bad was the 80s to have this kind of music? Like surely in the 80s was all about pop, having all that rock music. So how bad could the 80s have been to have these?
I don't even know if this song originates from the 80s. I don't think it does.
Well, whatever generation, how can generations be so bad at dancing? Like, look at this, like, what is some of this action going on?
Oh, wow. That was splits. I was not expecting that.
Exactly.
all of the over-dramatic hand movements. That is
Yes.
so funny.
It's like, you know, it's like they're just moving their hand, like the top half of the body, and they're totally forgetting about the legs.
I can
And it's absolutely
imagine this being
hilarious.
very similar to when you see TikTok dancers,
Yeah.
and you know, like, people sat there and doing dances just with no tunes.
Yeah.
That would be.
I love it when they go to the shadow as well, and
Oh,
they're just
yeah.
like, you know, they're just like, get some moves going here.
Why are they all blonde?
This
I don't
one's not
know.
blonde.
He's like.
He's the main singer.
He didn't look blonde in that shot. That look, he looks like.
Oh, there we go. We have a bit of a diversity.
There we go.
He just jumped on the fence.
But you like look at these, like if you look at these dancing in the background as well, they're just there like moving their legs and then, you know, clapping their hands. It's like any Year 6 disco, Christmas disco, where they've got like Macarena playing, right?
And they're just moving their hands.
Yeah, they're just moving their hands and like,
Yeah.
like yo, this is what do you call it? A dance competition, you know. If you're tagged, you're out. So then there'd just be kids there like doing Macarena, like like they're forgetting about the legs.
Totally different genres of dance. What the heck? They're all doing different styles of dance, and it's very confusing.
Oh, did you see that move? They're like, whoa.
Neat sound effects, by the way. That's going to look really, really, really cool without visuals. Just audio, just
Yeah. It's very awkward doing it like this. And
They should really know what we're talking about when we just go. We're going to hear all of Grace's sound effects in these, and it's going to be hilarious.
like, do you know the drum thing?
I can't wait for the cringe moment where you hear your accent back.
We all know my accent's absolutely amazing. So that was the video, right? So I want to actually have a look at when this music video was made.
I think I'm going to say 1992.
Oh, I don't know if...
Astley.
Never going to give you up. Intense the keyboard clicks.
Yeah. It doesn't actually tell you when it was brought.
Put release.
Release date there. It's at top, but there's nothing here. If we do not know. But if there's anyone watching this and you do know what genre this is, and well, not genre,
Comment down below. Make sure you subscribe and click that like button. Smooth transition.
Can we get any more basic with yeah. Oh dear. Basic YouTuber.
We're doing a podcast. Remember that.
Yes. We're not going to go through all our morning routines, like how it's so effective, because do you know what my opinion is? They are so fake.
If it gives us fame, didum.
Now you're doing sound effects.
Stop stealing my thing. Oh dear. So the music video, Ricky Astley. It's a good song. I actually really love the song. You know, it's like
Never gonna
give you up. Yeah, it's a really good song, but it's just if you want a good
It's
song.
such a meme.
It is such a meme.
Yes, it is. It's actually such a mean. But if you look at the dance moves, if you look at them compared to modern,
So upbeat. Like, it's weird. You always have to have a smile on your face. I am sorry, that's my phone. You always have to have a smile on your face through like the 80s and 90s music videos. And it's strange because
It is weird.
you really shouldn't be focusing on your facial features when you're sat there trying to do flips.
yeah, that is actually true. Like imagine it. Oh yeah, I broke my neck doing a flip because I'm more bothered about smiling.
I thought you were about to say you actually broke your neck then. I was like, when?
I've never broken a bone.
Neither have I.
Have you ever broken a bone?
Close to, but no.
We're all boring. Right, hang on. I just want to have a look at Madonna's Material Girl, because
A funny one I can imagine is Tina Turner's. Tina Turner, the Wheels Keep on Moving song. She does this weird.
It's like that, isn't it? It's like,
Yeah.
oh, what is it actually called? That is actually so annoying. Tina. It's like big wheel keep on turning. Right, hang on. What's it called? Hang on, Tina Turner. I really want to know what this song's called. Is it Proud Mary?
Proud Mary.
There you go.
For anyone listening, that was one of our teachers, Lee, who has just come in and told us what music video is. So, Proud Mary, did you say that there's a funny thing? Hang on. I noticed when Lee was in there as well, he was just shaking his head at us. So let's just have a look at this video. Obviously there's gonna just have a quick look through it. See, it's nothing. It's I will get this bit on the screen. Like, I just see the back dancers just slowly shuffling. You know, surely in these times, in like it says 1971 here, surely they had dance classes. Surely. I know they didn't have the We Just Dance, but why? Where are these?
1987.
1987.
Yeah, it says it here.
No, for Rick Astley, Never Gonna Give You Up.
It wasn't
So we know that all bad dance moves were in the 1970s.
1970s? Do you mean 1980s?
Same thing.
Just a 10-year difference. It's okay.
Yeah, just so some of the dance. Oh, what was that then?
Oh wow. Oh, okay.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Well, I hope there's no young viewers right now.
Well,
Like swimming in.
They are genuinely just swimming in water.
Where's the water though?
Swimming in land, sorry.
they look like they're on drugs.
I mean, we were just talking about the effects of fame.
True.
If this is,
It looks like
if this is what fame does, then
Give me
I
some.
don't want it. I don't want fame. I don't want fame. If this is what it does.
Proof of what fame does to people.
Oh dear. That's actually funny. So funny videos. Listening, well, not even like listening to them, but looking at music videos from the past. Always have rubbish music, and it makes me laugh. Stacey, thank you for pointing that one out. I will forever be grateful.
Going on from that little segment there, we are going to play 2 truths and 1 lie, and we will.
I thought it were two
truths and what?
Two truths and a lie.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's what I've just said.
Oops.
Following on from that little segment, we're going to continue with 2 truths and a lie to finish off the podcast.
Woohoo!
And has it paused?
How do we pause it, Lee?
Spacebar.
Hi.
Enjoy that.
We're not done
We're
yet.
not done yet, we just need to pause to think about stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, I need to get off now.
Oh, okay.
But I'll try to save it, right? So, watch.
Woohoo.
Okay.
Oh, no, it's recording. Woohoo.
Okay, and we have now.
We have now selected our 2 truths. Hang on, I'll just do like.
Why is it doing this? Well.
And
we are back for 2 truths and a lie.
woohoo!
I would like Grace to go first.
Oh god. So what we're going to do with this, obviously it's called 2 truths and a lie. On our phones we have wrote down 2 truths and a lie. We are going to give all of these statements out, but the other people can ask questions about this so they can see if they can try catch us out. So are you ready? Ready?
Yeah.
So I don't know if I've already told you this one. Oh crap, I just spelled that, didn't I?
Well, that one's a truth.
Next.
Right, no, I don't know if I've told you this one, but it doesn't matter. when I was younger, we had a pet Labrador, and literally was so naughty that he would open the fridge and steal food.
Truth.
I once threw up in this very building.
Lie.
Let me just give them all out first.
No.
In secondary school, it got to a point where I was so fed up with writing that I pretended to break my 2 fingers on my right hand so I could use the computers instead. So, come on, questions.
Throwing up one is true. Last one is a lie.
So,
Do you want to ask any questions?
I think we've just asked. We've got his answers.
So, the first one, the Labrador one, the camera,
Yeah.
The microphone keeps.
yeah.
Yours.
It might actually be, yeah, because I'm messing with my... There we go. Sorry, on my microphone.
We hope.
So the first one
think.
about the Labrador was actually false. I was double
I kind of
bluffing.
saw that coming because you was going to read something else out until you was like, well, that one's true.
Yeah, the thing with the Labrador is that the story is true, but the breed of dog is false. It was a Japanese Akita called Jacob, and when we left the back door open, he would go into the fridge and just take out all the food and take it to the back garden.
Fun.
Yeah, the first one. Well, not the first one. The first.
I want to know this story about writing. Who the bloody hell hurt you?
Right. So the story about this writing where I got so fed up is in secondary school. This was like year 8, and I was so fed up of writing. My hands were like hurting every day. So I was like, do you know what? I've had enough. So I went down to medical. I thought bandages. I got a couple of bandages. So I got a couple of bandages from medical. Then the next day I went to school, and do you know what? I don't know how they didn't catch me out on this one. In our farm room, we were lucky because we had like an area where we could just sit and just like wait for our farm tutor to arrive. Like this was our own private room, but all others didn't. And I was like, I forgot to put these bandages off at start of day. So like I'm in my farm room. I was with 2 other girls, and I went, shoot, I broke my fingers yesterday. I need to put my bandages on. So I got my bandages out of my bag, and they were helping me. They were literally helping me with my fingers. So like, well, what's going to happen from now? Like, are these 2 going to grasp me up like something dodgy's going on? And I got away with it. And when people were asking me like what happened, I was like, well, I was playing basketball with my brother, and he threw the basketball like proper hard at me, and it bent my fingers back. So that's how I broke.
I have a very similar story to that, but it's genuinely true.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Right.
Wait, what about the other one?
Do you want to know about the 6th story where I threw up in this building?
I have a feeling it was
False.
your doctor.
The doctor?
Yeah, when you were getting really nervous.
No. So in this building, because we are at Barnsley College, for those who are listening, and there's multiple other buildings, and the recording studio is in the old Mill Lane building, but the classrooms where our lessons take place are in a different building which aren't that far, just the SciTech building. So this old Mill Lane one is the main building for BTEC courses. But a couple of years ago back, this was used for A-levels and BTEC, and this was when my brother was at college, and my brother was like 16 at this point, I was like 8. So he had his parents' evening because my brother was absolute trouble at college and school. So we had like a one-to-one, like my mum had to go, my mum had to go and have this parents' evening. No one could look after me, like I was sick and no one could look after me at all. Like I was throwing up, it was horrible. So I was like, mum's just forced me to go. So I went with my brother, my mum, and there were a teacher sat like in front of us on this table, and I was just like, I was getting so uncomfortable. I could tell I was about to throw up, and all of a sudden I just went like everywhere, all over the table, all over work, and they literally rushed me to one of the toilets. They rushed me to one of the toilets, and it was like, it was
another one.
It was absolutely horrible. I felt so embarrassed when I come in this building. I'm embarrassed that I'm going to see this teacher. I don't know who they are. I don't, but I'm scared they're going to be like, hang on, do I know you from somewhere? Like,
From when you were 8 years old.
yeah, did you once throw up in my classroom? So yeah, that it wasn't fun, but yeah,
Okay, who's next? Me.
yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm just wiggling my fingers.
I once broke my nephew's arm. I hate butterflies. And I have a dog.
I think that I have a dog lie. It is a lie
Yeah.
because I feel like it's a cat.
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
know
sure
where you
you've
got
mentioned
that
that you've
idea
got
from.
cats in past. And we have no idea right now. Sorry if it's really crackly. Like, look on Annie, it's like.
Carry on.
I think the nephew one just seems a bit cruel.
What's the nephew one?
So yeah, tell us a story about this nephew one.
We were on the trampoline and I jumped high because he was like young. So since I'm older, I would jump the highest, and I jumped the highest. Yeah. And then I landed on him and broke his arm. So it wasn't intentional.
See, that seems like it's like an accident, so I can see why that'd happen.
And the butterfly one.
The butterfly ones, I've heard of a phobia where people are actually afraid of butterflies. The dog one, I think, is a lie because
You're correct.
because I'm sure right, if
Yeah.
anyone has a dog, we all know that we brag about the dog. But if you've got a cat, we don't brag about the cat.
Yeah.
So
Got a cat. I don't have a dog.
what's
I
your
used to.
what's your cat's name?
Star.
Oh. So
My sister's cat's called Star and one's called Rain.
Maybe we've got the same cat.
oh my god,
Don't ask.
there is dog.
It could happen.
Tell
Three
us
dog
the
cats.
story about the butterflies. Like what
There is no story. I just really don't like them. They just
is there?
creeping me out.
So when you see
They're so
butterflies,
beautiful.
what do you do? When you see a butterfly? When you see a butterfly, what do you do?
Scream and run away. I don't know.
I think that's what any person would do if they just saw it at glance. Like what?
Do not like butterflies.
Stacey.
Stacey?
I've been stuck in the fridge for more than 24 hours because of my sisters pushing me in it. When I was young, my mum always used to cry at my stories because they were always about suicide and running away. And I've been engaged before.
Last.
I think the first one's false.
Same.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Cool. You was right. However, my sisters did push me in the fridge and I got stuck.
How long for?
But not for 24 hours.
Not for 24 hours. I don't know how long because of how young I was. But my mum had to literally unfreeze the freezer to get me out.
I want to hear this engagement story.
Yeah.
I have been engaged before and it was like my 16th birthday. And
Right.
it was from my
Are you still
boyfriend now.
engaged?
No.
Okay.
I don't want to know that.
Wait, what? There's a story to go with this disengagement?
Well, they wouldn't just randomly get disengaged with no story.
Right, we need to hear this whole engagement story. Come on, I want to know the deeds.
It tried to keep it a secret. It asked me if I wanted
Is it
to
Matt?
marry him.
Is it your current boyfriend?
Yeah, it is.
Right, okay.
He asked me if I wanted to marry him a few days beforehand, and I was just like, sure, maybe in the future. And he pretty much took that, like, fully literally, and engaged to me on my 16th, and nothing against everything, but we're like 16-year-old kids at the time, we're poor, we think everything. He got me a £15 ring from Argos. Like, it's not bad. Like,
So 15 quid isn't bad for an engagement ring, is it?
it wasn't a proper engagement ring.
Still.
It was to put us on, but my mum was just like, I'll put you max to this, this and this, but if you want any more, I'll put a deposit on and do it.
So everyone was like,
My mum
this
paid
is serious.
for the ring too, by the way.
Wait, for the £15?
Yeah.
Right.
It's nothing bad. We're 16 and it was... It was gross.
So what?
It was cheesily gross.
Right. So what
Not like-
happened at this disengagement then? What happened?
You just disengaged.
That's personal.
So were you making wedding plans? Like, I want to get we're going like
wedding plans. We just got engaged. It was the honeymoon phase. We'd only just got together. We were together like a couple of months at most. So it was like the honeymoon phase where he hadn't seen me on my worst, on my period, and
oh god,
sat in bed stinking.
Men, if you are listening, us women are evil when we are on our periods.
We really are.
If we are on our periods,
just get me food and leave me alone. That's all I ask.
Take this advice. Treat us like royalty. Treat us like royalty. We either want food, we either want cuddles, we either want attention. We, just get us what we want. Otherwise, you're probably gonna die.
Anyone want to do any shout outs?
Hang on.
I also want to tell you the truth.
Come on, I want to know about this other one.
My mum actually confiscated most of my paper and pencils so that I would stop writing stories about suicide and running away. I was like 7 or 8 years old.
Is there a reason why you're writing about, why you were writing about suicide?
I don't know. It genuinely was just psychopath. I know. But it was just genuinely something that not crossed my mind to do it to myself.
Yeah.
But it was just people do that.
Stacey,
I was a very strange 8 years old, and it explains a lot now.
It's paying off, I can tell. I'm telling you now, it's paying off.
Paying what off?
Paying off.
I don't know.
What's paying off?
I don't even know, to be honest.
The fact that I thought about suicide when I was 8 years old. What's paying off?
Well, hang on, Stacey. You're doing an FMP about serial killers.
It's paying off.
Oh yeah. I love dark humour.
You told Isabella a joke earlier, and I'm not.
Don't repeat that.
We're not
going on YouTube.
We're not going to repeat that because it's unbelievably bad. But
that's my humour. That one joke explains my humour to the T.
Your dark humour, I'm extremely cheesy humour.
You like puns though, don't you?
Yeah, I go for puns because I'm very
puns and accents.
Yes, puns and accents because I'm very punny.
I'm both.
See,
I like both.
I'm okay with both. I just rather like my dark humour. I feel like it's a lot more smart to use dark humour. Not like anything against people who use puns and stuff, because yeah, you can get really funny puns. I just find it really clever on most of the dark jokes. Have you ever listened to Bo Burnham?
No.
Yes.
He is the most hilarious human out there.
Yes.
Okay, Beatrice, let's just calm.
I love him. He's my sense of humour.
Have you ever seen Russell Howard?
Yes.
Yes. I don't like Russell Howard. I don't like comedians very much, and that's why I pointed out Bob Burnham, because I don't. This is the most I don't like comedians very much because of how
Comedian.
Comedian-ish?
I don't even know what I was going to say.
they just they try too hard to be funny. That's the point that I was trying to make. They try too hard to be funny. You sat on stage talking about, oh my god, this happened the other day, and I told myself, literally, going to use a joke. I told myself not to use a joke on the stage. Oops, I did it anyway.
I love his songs.
The only problem that I have with Russell Howard, I think his jokes are absolutely amazing. It does a Queen impression,
Is it the blonde one?
Yeah, the blonde one.
I think I have watched. Matthew's watched him before, and I've been there, and I've chuckled a little.
The problem is his humour is so dark, and it's there's a point where it gets too inappropriate, and I'm like,
I love it.
You see, that's the type of humour that I probably. Oh, sorry.
You love inappropriate jokes.
Yeah.
That just took a turn. I did not expect that from you, to be honest.
From me?
Yeah.
Wow.
Who are you? Watch out for the quiet ones. The quiet ones are always the worst ones, with the dark jokes and the inappropriate jokes.
Stacey's just having a giggle because she's had to take her headphones off.
I don't want to pull them out. Pull them out.
Oh my god!
You started me.
That's how you
I don't want them,
Stacey.
That's not how you know. What? That's not how you get. This is going on YouTube.
Oh!
They know about pregnancy.
What?
Can we remember, guys, that this was about positives and negatives about
Fame.
fame? Serious topics. Okay, just setting the scene back again. So,
Anybody want to do any shout outs?
I have a radio show for carltonradio.co.uk.
Go and listen.
Shout out?
Let's go for the Vibe Media. The people.
Oh yeah,
who are-
let's. Everyone needs to stop and go to the Vibe Media from barnsleycollege.co.uk.
Yes. We have.
Vibe Media.
Yes. From the Vibe Media has.
Vibe Media.
The Vibe Media has its own radio show. Absolutely amazing. There is the Vibe Reflects, which is a podcast that is done by which is normally done by myself, Libby, Corcoran, Luke, Pond, and Harrison. I'm sorry, Harrison, but I do not know your surname. But yeah, just go and listen to that podcast. It is absolutely amazing.
We also do national and international and COVID and TV shows, entertainment and stuff like that on magazines and
anything you can
articles.
think of, we do it.
I think that was our shout out for today.
I want to shout out my mum.
There's always
My sister and Alex, because he's probably
I've got a shout out.
My weirdo.
I want to give a shout out to my dog Pippa. You're annoying. I'm never letting you go on my windowsill again.
And
because
shut
you
up
make it
barking.
dirty. Yes, and shut up barking because you don't get any food. Thank you very much.
Okay, cool. So I think that's it for us today, and I hope you've enjoyed our very first podcast.
I know I've
Spoken
enjoyed it.
Room. I know I've enjoyed it too. Please comment, subscribe,
like the video, share the video.
Post
normal
notifications turned on.
Yes, them notifications and all of the cringy YouTube stuff.
What we'll do at the end is we'll also put our social media where you can find us at social media if
In the
our
description.
Twitters. Yes.
I don't really have a social media.
Like Facebook then. Have you got Twitter? You've got Twitter.
People
haven't you?
can't add me, I have to add them.
The media.
Well, you know where we are. Me and B will add most of our social media stuff. TikTok, have you got TikTok? I have TikTok. And it's very bland because there's only one video. Right. So, is that it for today?
That is it for today.
Thank you guys for
you.
listening. I've enjoyed this. I hope you two have enjoyed this as well.
I have.
Yep. I think my microphone's broken, to be honest.
Oh dear. Get ready for next week's podcast. We do not know what we're going to be talking about.
It'll probably be something just like this one.
Yeah, we do the same things. We'll have a main topic. We'll go to having a little game, and then we will go on. And then we'll also have a video as well. So yeah, stay tuned, subscribe, turn your notifications on.
Oh, if you do have a video, please send it over to us at some point. Send it to our social medias or to...
I've got my DMs open on social media.
Did you use Gmail? So that's the email.
Yes, we'll also put our emails down on
So that
on
you
the
could get in
screen.
touch and send the videos over if you would like to.
Exactly. So, hope you've enjoyed this. And this is Grace,
Beatrice.
And Stacey.
signing off.
Bye.
See ya.
See you later.